This video is a quick introduction to probability. Without wasting any time, let's get straight to business. To put it simply, probability is the chance of something happening. For example, chance of rain today or chance of winning a game. Before moving forward, it is important to understand a few terms. The first one is experiment. What is an experiment? It is an action where the result is usually uncertain. For example, rolling a die or tossing a coin. The next term is outcome. Outcome is any possible result of an experiment. So if the experiment is tossing a coin, example outcomes will be heads or tails. Now what's an event? An event is an outcome or a group of outcomes we are interested in. So when we toss a coin, getting a heads will be one of the events. To understand it better, let's take another example. If the experiment is rolling a die, the outcomes will be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Event could be getting a 6. Like we just learned, when the experiment is tossing a coin, the outcomes will be heads or tails. Event will be getting a tails. To describe probability in words, we use the terms like impossible, unlikely, likely, certain. We also use the terms like more likely, highly unlikely, etc. This is expressing probability in words. A better way to express probability is as a number. The probability of something happening or probability of an event lies between 0 and 1. Probability of 0 means an impossible event. Probability of 1 means a certain or a sure shot event. Pause this video and think of an example of an impossible event. I hope you were able to think of several examples. One of them could be getting a 7 on a die. Can you think of an example of a certain or a sure shot event? One example could be sunrise happening tomorrow. If the probability of an event is somewhere here between 0 and 0.5, you can call it an unlikely event. And if the probability is here between 0.5 and 1, you can call it a likely event. If the probability is exactly 0.5, we say that the event has an even chance. Now when we express probability as a number, it can be expressed as a decimal or a fraction or a percentage. On the previous page, we saw this. These probabilities are in decimals. The same probabilities could be written as fractions like this. And in terms of percentage, there will be 0%, 50% and 100%. So 3 different ways to express probability as a number. You can choose either of them. I personally prefer the fraction form and then the decimal form. Next up will be a couple of questions related to what we learned till now. But before we move ahead, one quick thing. This thing here that you see is called the probability scale. Question 1. Team A and Team B are 2 football teams. The probability of Team A winning its next match is 80%. The probability of Team B winning its next match is 3 by 4. Which team is more likely to win its next match? Now, the match here is not necessarily between Team A and Team B. Team A can be having its own match, Team B can be having its own match with a separate team. The team that has a higher probability of winning its next match will be the one that will be more likely to win its next match. The problem here is that one probability is given in fraction and the other is given in percentage. To compare them, we have to convert them to the same format. So either you convert this to percentage or this to fraction and then compare. Probability of Team A winning, this is how we write it, is 80%. probability of team B winning is 3 by 4. We convert this to percentage. You know how to convert it to percentage? To convert anything to percentage, be it fraction or decimal or a whole number, you have to just multiply it by 100. So 3 by 4 will convert to 75%. Now whose probability is higher? Clearly it's team A's. Since probability of team A winning is greater than probability of team B winning, therefore team A is more likely to win its next match. Question 2. The probabilities of team A, team B and team C winning their next match are 60%, 0.45 and 4 by 5 respectively. It'll be R in place of is here. Respectively here means probability of team A winning is 60%, team B winning is 0.45 and team C winning is 4 by 5. Which team is the least likely to win its next match? And which team is the most likely to win its next match? In this question, we have to compare probabilities. The team that is least likely to win its next match will be the one that has the least probability among these three numbers. Now, these three numbers are in three different formats. You can choose any one format, either convert them all to percentage or all to decimal or all to fraction and then compare. Let's convert them all to decimals. Probability of team A winning is equal to 60%. Now if you want to convert percentage to decimal, how do we do that? You divide it by 100. So probability of team A winning will be 60 by 100, which will be equal to 0.60. Probability of team B winning is 0.45, which is already in decimal. Probability of team C winning is 4 by 5. In decimal format, it will be 0.80. How do you convert a fraction to decimal? It's simple, just do long division. So we see that probability of team B winning is the least and the probability of team C winning is the greatest. Therefore, team B is the least likely to win its next match and team C is the most likely to win its next match. Up until now, the probabilities are already given in the questions. In the next video, we'll learn how to calculate probability.